Lupus is a systemic autoimmune disease. Systemic in the sense that lupus can affect any part of the body. We are talking from the head to the toe, from outside to inside can be affected by lupus. Lupus, as the word is described from a Greek word meaning wolf. So it was characteristically in the olden days described where you had people having rashes more on the cheeks, which appeared like wolf bitten. Lupus is a condition whereby your body's defense system, which is called the immune system, acts against your own tissues. So our immune system is designed to protect us from external aggressors like infections. But certain times your immune system can lose that ability to recognize yourself, and instead it produces antibodies that fight your own tissues, therefore by causing inflammation and causing damage to the body. So lupus is one such disease whereby you produce antibodies that can be directed at any tissue in your body and cause different symptoms that are associated with lupus. Lupus is not a contagious disease. Lupus, people with lupus tend to have certain genetic abnormalities, and there are certain genes that have been identified that are abnormal in people with lupus. But not everybody with these genetic abnormalities will develop lupus. So really what happens is there is interaction between your genetic makeup and certain factors in the environment. For example, viral infections, hormonal factors, and very commonly we see the ultraviolet light. Those interact with the genetic makeup and lead to a situation where we have inflammation. So when you have inflammation, you have tissue damage, and that's what results into lupus. There are hormonal factors that have been shown to play a role in etiology or causation of lupus. And one of the commonest hormones that has been shown is the hormone estrogen. So estrogen is more in women compared to men. And that is probably thought to be the reason why we see more women getting affected by lupus compared to men. So having said that, lupus also occurs in men, though at a lower frequency compared to the women. The disease in lupus in men, most of the series, you'll find that there is less men compared to women who get affected by lupus. There is no really robust data that compares disease presentation in men versus women, though some of the times we see a bit more organ involvement in men. But by and large, the disease presentation is almost the same between the men and the women. Lupus is an autoimmune disease, and there is an abnormality in the genetic makeup, the way somebody is made up, patients who have lupus, so that you tend to produce antibodies which you should not be producing. So ideally, you should not be producing antibodies against your own tissues. So unfortunately, we don't have a mechanism to switch off the production of these antibodies. So in essence, once you have lupus, you have lupus. But the thing is that when you go into treatment, the drugs we use, they make these antibodies quiet. So you are in a state of remission, but you have the disease. So it is possible to go into remission, but it is not possible to cure lupus. Yeah. So remission most times is induced by medication. At times, the disease, through its natural history, can go a bit quiet. So they can have episodes of disease remission without medication, but it doesn't mean that the disease has disappeared. Yeah? So there's still potential for damage if you're not on treatment.